A pleasant afternoon to everyone, our beloved students,
Afternoon,
Afternoon,
the
sir.
sir.
faculty and staff,
Afternoon, sir.
our dean, Dr.
Good
Melvin
afternoon,
Ninial.
sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon,
I
sir.
am Mr. Hubert Perolino, your host
Afternoon, sir.
for this afternoon's event. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this new normal student reorientation. This is a reorientation because you have done this before when you were in first year, no? Conducted by the College of Computer Studies in the University of Cebu main campus. This is a much awaited event in every student's life as it gives the returns to the efforts put in by them. Due to its innovation, dynamism, and persistence for seeking and adopting innovative methods to improve the quality of higher education, the College of Computer Studies in University of Cebu is now known as one of the leading institutions in the metro and the country. May I invite everyone to please invoke the Almighty. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to start this program with a prayer to be followed by the national anthem and using hymn. Ma'am Cheryl,
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. This ashes Blue. Oh my God. Mr. Moratin. Epic fail si Mr. Moratin. Can you please? Thy precious
All right. So to begin this program and to give us a welcome remarks, introduction of faculty and staff of the College of Computer Studies, and the program reorientation, I would like to call upon our ever dynamic sculptor of human character and integrity and navigator of this flagship of knowledge is no other than our beloved Dean, Dr. Melvin Ninyal. A big
Thank you,
round of
Sir
applause,
Hubert.
please.
Thank you, Sir Hubert. Am I audible? Okay, thank you. So our valued faculty members who are here, equally valued students and their parents or benefactors in the background, a very pleasant and encouraging afternoon to all of you. So this may sound so cliche, but I have to reiterate that we are in the new normal now, all because of this COVID-19. We are doing most of our socio-economic activities virtually. This includes higher education, especially our college. So for most other colleges or courses, only lecture classes are offered this semester. So the laboratory ones are deferred to second semester or once this pandemic is over. But it is different from our case. Thankfully, or fortunately, in our case, both of your lecture and laboratory subjects are offered simply because it is very possible for us to offer them online. In fact, a good percentage of our IT workforce in the industry are working from home or even without COVID-19. So we can also do lab from home in our curriculum. So unlike other programs, sila, in the next semester, magsagol na ang ilahang second semester nga subjects plus ang mga subjects nga wala ki-offer because of the laboratory. Pero kita, okay kayo ta. Okay kayo, no? So most of you have attended the LMS training last Tuesday, but don't worry because you will have another round of LMS training next week. It will be longer. Just wait for the schedule. Today, however, we are all virtually gathered for a more specific objective, which is to welcome you again and reorient you, our beloved students, and perhaps your parents behind the scene, to the University of Cebu College of Computer Studies. Once again, thank you for entrusting your future with University of Cebu College of Computer Studies. Together, we will develop solution-oriented leaders and citizens in you. To the parents and benefactors behind the scenes, we thank you for the confidence in sending them again to us. We will take care of them the best way we can. As you may know, IT is still a booming field up until now and in the years to come. So your future in IT is really bright. Jobs are just out there for the taking, work from home or not. Nevertheless, you need to be equipped with the necessary knowledge and skills in order to match with those high-paying jobs. You may even settle beyond employment. For example, entrepreneurship or managing your own IT company in the future. So from this point on, your future is simply in your hands. With enough support from your parents and benefactors, and with the right IT education virtually we can offer you, you will become successful computing practitioners or specialists 5 to 10 years from now. Our academic functions in the college and the university as a whole will help build the student's future. Okay, so without so much ado, in behalf of the administration, faculty, and staff, I welcome you all to this semester, our dear CCS Digimilers, to this 2020 Old Students Orientation Program. Thank you very much. Okay, so I think I have to share to you my screen so that I'll do my presentation and acknowledgement of the faculty. Okay. Okay. So my talk for today is just very brief. We'll talk about UC and CCS philosophy and objectives, organizational structure, if you need to know again, directory or virtual offices of the college, the faculty and staff, reorientation of the program of study quickly, and of course, quick visit of the policies and guidelines. So again, our vision is to democratize quality education, be the visionary and industry leader, give hope, and transform lives. To be able to do that, the University of Cebu commits to serve as an active catalyst in providing efficient and effective delivery of educational services, pursue excellence in instruction, research, and community service towards social and economic development, as well as environmental sustainability. And number 3, foster an organizational culture that nurtures employee productivity and engagement. So here's our graduate outcomes, which is translated to graduate attributes later on. I will just discuss the graduate attributes. And the core values, which is I care, innovation, camaraderie, alignment, respect, and excellence. Just because we are in a new normal doesn't mean that we cannot exercise I care, even in the four walls of our homes. CCS vision. So we envision being the hub of quality, globally competitive, and socially responsive IT education. So to be able to do that, we commit to continuously offer relevant programs that mold well-rounded computing professionals, engage in accreditation and quality standards. That is why we are level 2 in Pakukowa, and maybe this year or next year, we will undergo remote virtual accreditation by Pakukowa for our level 3. And then the third one is to facilitate in building an IT-enabled nation. So the goals are the following, and the core values. So if we have a core value, a set of core values for UC, we also have a set of core values for the CCS, which is initiative, innovation, and service. So for initiative, if you have initiative and innovation, then you are a disruptive innovator. If you have service and you are innovative, you are a servant leader. So if you do service and you have initiative, you are an instigator. But if you do all three things at the center, you are what we call a CCS Digimiler. Okay? So this Venn diagram was actually done by Dr. Satori. Thanks to her. So our why. So our existence as a college is deeply rooted in the belief that technology is a great equalizer that dramatically improves a person's life and the society in general. So to remain steadfast to our purpose, we design our IT and CS programs with an end in mind, which is to produce globally competitive, socially responsive, and well-rounded computing professionals. These are what we call, are what I told you about the graduate attributes. So if you are a UC Main CCS graduate, you should have the following. You are a lifelong learner. You're entrepreneurial. You are ethically responsible. You are a team player. You are technically competent. You are socially collaborative. You are solution oriented, a lifelong learner, and an effective communicator. So from now on, live this truth about Digimilers. You are a Digimiler, so you should have the 8 graduate attributes. Okay, so let's proceed to the structure. So again, this is the structure. I know that you know this already. You have seen this one in our corridors. Don't worry about that. And of course, we have to remind you that these are the 2 top officials of the university, Attorney Go and Ms. Candice Luchanoy. And the top official, the middle level officials. And this is the organizational chart of the college. We have these virtual offices or committees directory. So for the UC Main CCS, our official website is ccs.uc.edu.ph. Our official emails are ccs.main@uc.edu.ph. My email address, no official, mninal, and Miss Kathy's official email address, mc.karumba. And the following are the social media handles, no official. So for Facebook, we have UC Main CCS. For IG, UC Main CCS. Twitter, we have UC Main CCS, and TikTok, we also have UC Main CCS. So tanang mga information and announcements will be posted in our FB page. Okay? And it will be reposted in our Twitter, and maybe some of the gallery or photos that we need to highlight can be done in IG, and some tutorials or programming snippets can be shared in TikTok. So for our laboratories, we have this. For our Mecca, we have this. So our Mecca will be functional even virtually for this semester. Just hold on tight because we'll be doing some activities that are virtual that will be organized by Mecca with the help of the Infotron. So our Mecca is our official UC Main CCS Innovation Hub. And the Digirati. We will also launch our official UC Main Student Press or publication, Digirati. It will be guided by our Digirati advisor, Sir Neil Basabe. And their social media handle will be that one. And of course, our visit. So whatever are the announcements of the UC Main CCS FB page will also be echoed in the visits.main nga CCS FB page. So please like and follow the UC Main CCS nga FB page and the visits FB page and all the rest of the FB pages sa mga virtual offices. Of course, we have the CCS Cares for our community awareness, relations, and extension services. That's it. So again, I'd like to introduce you to Mama Morris. I think Mama Morris is here.
She's actually watching via live stream.
Okay. By the way, katong mga wa nakaabot ka 250 na ta or more, some of you are watching via live stream, pero dili sila ka-interact, pero it's as clear as what we have here. Okay, so I'm trying to acknowledge or introduce the faculty members here because some of the old students are returnees and some of the new faculty members, they have not yet met. Okay, so Ma'am Jennifer is here, Sir Basabe, who will be presenting LMS later, Sir Leo Bermudez, Sir Gian Cataraja, Sir Dorano, Dennis, Sir Hubert Ferrolino, who acts as our MC, Sir Roger Intong.
Melbs na kuan ang presentation na overlapan.
Ug unsa man?
Jerry Ann. Carrie
Someone
Ann
is
Daroy.
presenting.
Okay. Sorry.
I will remove Carrie Ann na lang from the meeting, Richo. Okay.
Okay. So, is my slide still shared?
Not yet, sir.
Okay. So I need to share it again. Resume. Again, we have Mama Morris, Sir Neil, Sir Bermudez, Sir Cataraja, Giancarlo, Sir Dennis Durano, Sir Hubert Ferrolino, Sir Roger Intong, who is relatively new. He started to join the family last 2 semesters ago, or last semester pa, sir, no?
Yes,
Last
sir.
2
Yes, sir.
semesters. And then, of course, myself, Dr. Satore, who also heads the MECA, manages the MECA. We have Ma'am Emily Villasiran, Ma'am Leia Ibanez, Miss Jean Amora, who teaches Nihongo and some computer subjects, Miss Richelle Bacus, Sir James Nicholas Bisinga, who was our MC this morning, Sir Artemio Cabrillos, Sir Franz Caminade, who is not on leave, na si Sir Franz Caron. So he's active already. Sir Bel Campanilla, Sir Jonathan Itkuban, still with us. Sir Michael La Peña, and then we have Sir Kim Mayorga. We also have Sir Joaquin Patino, who is busy actually with the university systems. Pero I think he's here. Sir Joaquin, are you there?
Yes, Doc, present.
Okay. And then we have, of course, is Kathy Karumba, our college secretary. So, the dynamic college secretary. Sir Jeff Salimbangon, our lab supervisor. Miss Jera Marie Son, our technical staff, and of course, Sir Gail Garciano. So these are again our PEOs, or program education objectives for the IT program. So again, ang kanang PEO is this will happen 3 to 5 years from now or from your graduation. So kung nika-graduate ninyo, after you graduate, mga 3 to 5 years from now, dapat ingon ani na mo. You become successful IT practitioners or specialists, develop into champions in the pursuit of lifelong learning, and uphold the standards of professionalism, corporate conduct, and the UC and CCS core values. I have a call, but I'm not going to answer that. Okay, so these are our program outcomes. So unlike the PEO, which is 3 to 5 years after graduation pa na may tapo, ang inyong PO or program outcomes, iniga-graduate ninyo, mauna na kamo. You have the ability to apply knowledge of computing and mathematics appropriate to the discipline. You have the ability to analyze a problem and define the computing requirements appropriate to the solution, and many more. And you know that already. And we are trying to incorporate all the PEOs and POs in our courses. So this is the prospectus of our 2012-2013 IT. Anisha is defunct na ni siya nga prospectus, pero katong naay mga ninggamit pa, please coordinate with Kathy so that we will be able to reevaluate you to the new prospectus if it is necessary. Only if it is necessary, okay? So don't worry. And then we have our 2018-19 prospectus. So this is more or less the same as the 2020-2021, which our freshmen are using right now. Nakalahi lang niya is katong mga Filipino, wala na tong Filipino, and so on. Giusab na namo og other gen ed subjects like living in the IT era and everything. Pero katong mga ninggamit ani na naman mo sa second year, right? Or katong some irregular are also using the first year, first sem or second sem nga level. Okay, so I'd like to just point out some of the details in our curriculum, ha? So again, kanang prerequisites, importante ka na, you have to follow And then after the second year, at the end of the second year, students can earn a 2-year certificate on Associate in Computer Technology as per CIM 05 of 1998. So, katong dili gyud makatiwas, kay tungod kwarta ang problema or nalisuran na gyud pananglitan, pwede naman gyud mamuhuman og 2 years para way masayang sa inyong gisugdan. So, you can actually apply for 2 years na associate. Unya, katong mga ganahan mo padayon, pwede raman gapon nga mo third year na siya og balik niya while working because na naman siya ACT nga diploma. Okay? And then we have the kasabot naman mo aning ko ano kaning 1 green dot and 2 green dots. So kaning 1 green dot ang pasabot ani, you can choose from the IT electives nga akong gibutang dire. Some of you ask nganong nag-offer me og IT elective nga wala sa prospectus. It is fine. It is okay. In fact, pwede gani nga kani nga mga electives di na ni na mo i-offer lain na mga bag-o na. The reason why we are offering electives or free electives in the IT curriculum is para ang mga bag-o nga mga technologies ma-appeal nato. So there is really a tendency nga ang mga electives nga naa dire or ang mga electives nga gi-offer na mo karon kay wala nakita dire. For example, Python. So we offer Python, but it's not here. It's okay. Don't worry about it. The same is true with free electives, which is 2 dots, 2 green dots ang free electives. Okay? Nya kanang kuan, kanang mga subjects nga ang prerequisite kay 2 asterisks, ang pasabot ana, you have to be in the 3rd year standing. You have to finish all 1st year and 2nd year courses. Katong mga subjects na prerequisite nga 3 asterisks, ang pasabot ato is you are 4th year standing or you must finish all 1st year to 3rd year courses. So I hope that everything about the checklist or the prospectus is clear to you. Okay, later on we will try to answer some of your questions when the Q&A is open. Let's proceed to the electives. So sa electives na to, mga IT students, pwede ra gyud nga upat man to ka IT electives no. Pwede nga mukuha ka og by the way, ang kanang IT electives na to kuan gina siya, 2 units na siya nga lecture equivalent to 2 hours og 1 unit or 3 hours nga lab. Like the free elective nga lecture yun. Again, ang diferensya sa IT elective ug free elective, ang IT elective kay nailab, ang free elective wala. So, the IT electives may be based on track. For example, pwede ka mukuha og 4-in-1. So meaning, mukuha ka 1 from the web application, 1 from the mobile application, 1 from embedded systems, and many more. So wala kay gi-focus. So, imo na ng kuan, imo na ng discretion, imo na ng strategy. Maybe you learn a lot with the 4, okay? Pwede pod nga duha-duha or maybe 2 plus 2. So, pwede 2 subjects from the web application track plus 2 subjects from the mobile application track. Or maybe 3 plus 1. 3 from one track and 1 from another track. Okay? By the way, sorry, ang kanang 4-in-1 is tanan yung track sa web application, upat ka buok web application yun. Pero kanang distinct, mao na ang usa-usa jud kada 4 sa 4 ka tracks or sa mga daghang tracks. So inyo na nang discretion ha, kamo na bahala ana kung unsa inyong paluhon. Pero again, we will go back to the fact nga unsa ray gi-offer. Di man pod pwede nga abi kanay electives niya. Mayong din mo nganong wala ka gi-offer nga elective man na. Sa pagkakaroon ng gi-offer na to, maura na siya, maura po na inyong pilian. Do you understand? Next is the free electives. So sa free electives, we have trends in IT, Nihongo, cloud computing, and more. So more gani, pwede pod mi mo puno og other free electives. So that's 3 units or 3 hours lecture only, non-lab. So it should not be based on track. Kaya wala pa man pod mi nakahimo, pero pwede pod nga later on maka-design mi og free electives nga based on track or kana yung umanon jud nimo ang upat in one topic or in one track. You can do distinct 4. So meaning one different electives for all electives that you are taking. Okay? Then the practicum program, duha na siya, Prac 41 o Prac 42. So ang Prac 41 is 324 hours, ang Prac 42 is 162. So in our case, amo na lang ng 250 para walay kida. So do you understand? So kanang 324 o 162, which is 486 or 400, ilan na siya? 486, kuan na, minimum requirement na na siya. So kung kita naabot tag 500, nilapas tag gamay sa minimum. Okay? So for Practicum 41, it may be IT company or large IT-enabled company. Dili pwedeng mga small companies nga dili IT. Pero for Practicum 42, dapat IT company gina siya. Don't worry, kay we will have another orientation for Practicum and another orientation for Capstone. This is only an overview of what kind of Practicum program do you have. Okay? Next is Capstone. So for Capstone, you will have 4 members na in a team and so on. So again, we'll be discussing Capstone in a more detailed orientation program, maybe next week, okay? Along with Practicum. Let's proceed to the important policies and guidelines that you need to stick even if you are not freshmen. Like accreditation of subjects. It must be official. So katong mga transferees or shifties nga, old students na, kaya tungo, nimbalik ra pud sila sa UC. Silbing, ikan sila sa UC, ning balhin sila line school, ning balik na sad sila. Na naman mo nakuha ng mga subjects sa ubang schools or ubang colleges, kung magpa-accredit mo og subjects, it should be official and you have to coordinate it with me and the secretary because we will be the one to process and have it approved. Okay? So, mutana mo, yes sir, ang online naman to last time. Okay, kung katong mga naigipa-credit sa online, amo na tong na submit sa automatically sa registrar. So, allowable units to enroll. So, for example, ang inyong third year, first sem, 24 agyo, dili pwede mo lapas. Kaya mo lapas gani ka, ya makalusot ka pa ng litan. Ang magproblema man ka na ni graduation kay di man gid mo sugot ang Commission on Higher Education or CHED. So ikagya po magproblema kung maginay kasi mong ulo. So you have to stick to the maximum number of units nga allowed. Okay? Based on your year level. Your year level or term must be determined by the enrolling officer only, especially for irregular students. Overloading while not graduating is strictly not allowed. So let's talk about overloading. So overloading of a maximum of 6 units over and above the allowed number of units to enroll is only allowed when the student is graduating on the same semester. So for example, 4th year na ka, 14 ra ang gi-allow. Nya graduating naman ka, na lang kay 6 units nga kulang pag yun. So pwede ka maka 18. Pero imuha ng i-official. Request for overloading must be approved by the dean, registrar, and BC academics prior to the enrollment of overloaded subjects. Mauna nga katong mga graduating nga nagdugay-dugay og enroll, dugay pod na approve kay tungod nagsige pa man og process. Mauna dapat unta in this new normal, I'd like to ask our old students, especially graduating, nga mo enroll na gitag sayo, dili ta mo enroll og dugay kay kana ra ba inyuhang mga subjects sa old students, especially graduating, we need to evaluate it first. Muna naglistod si Miss Cathy Karumba of doing the processing of your enrollment, especially graduating, kay dugay man mo ning enroll niya, nagpusot-pusot na din mo enroll pag last week of the enrollment. So please, katong mga old students nga dili pa graduating, next semester or so, you have to enroll earlier. Do you understand? Next is co-requisites and prerequisites. Okay na. So kung prerequisite gani, you're allowed simultaneous enrollment kung graduating ra pud ka. So dili ka pwede nga mo enroll og practicum 1 o practicum 2 nga imo idungan kung di ka graduating. Pero kung graduating ka, approvean pa na siya. it should have been approved by the dean, the registrar, and the vice chancellor for academics. So again, overloading and simultaneous enrollment must be approved first before you enroll the subject. Of course, cross-enrollment. Katong mga wala gi-offer diri sa UC, you can apply for cross-enrollment in other campus of UC or in other schools outside UC. So I don't know if there are cases like this, but if you wish to cross-enroll, it is your responsibility to look for a subject outside and tell us kung okay ba kay para maka-cross-enroll ka, pero kinahanglan gyapon og request nga gi-approve by the registrar and the vice chancellor for academics. Okay, questions? If there are questions, save your questions because we will be answering all the questions, or we'll be opening the Q&A later on when all the presenters have done their part. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Melvin.
Thank you,
Thank
Sir
you, Sir
Hubert.
Melvin, for that insight, for orienting us again on our IT program. And I'd like to remind the students that you are encouraged to prepare questions later in our Q&A portion. So just type it in on our chat box. Now, it's my privilege to welcome the ever active and overly prepared colleague, a visionary with rich experience in academic world and industry, to give us insight about the teaching and learning in the new normal. Everyone, let's welcome Dr. Cheryl Satori Estelia, PhD. A round of applause, everyone.
Yay!
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, CCS Digiminers. So, good afternoon again. May hapon na tong tanan. So, it's been a while that we see each other, no, physically. So, at least I see your faces and I'm happy to see you all at bahala na og virtual. At least nakita ko sa inyong mga now. So, for this afternoon, one of the highlight topics that we have to deliver for this reorientation program is the learning in the new normal. This is because this kind of learning, this kind of thing, is something new to us. No, it's also something new for teachers, and most especially it's something new for the students, because we did not expect, no, that COVID will happen. Kasi may magdahom nga sabuan di ay ang kwaknit nya nahitabo ang COVID, di ba? But definitely we are prepared for the College of Computer Studies. We are prepared on how we will deliver quality education so that you could have a very good learning experience, no, despite the pandemic. All right. So for this afternoon, we are going to talk about distance learning, and then the UC main CCS learning modalities. So some of my students who have received email from me just this week have learned na ay kuande ko mo din akong modality, okay? But most of them, or majority of us, do not know what kind of modality or unsa jud ang modality. So I will include that, okay? And then last but not the least is how are you going to cope with distance learning? Okay, so let's start. So when we talk about distance learning, another term for that, it's called correspondence education or home study. Sometimes other people will call it remote education, remote teaching and learning, remote, what else? Distance education. Basta lain na siya. Or we term it study from home or learn from home. They're the same, okay? But the bottom line is they're the same, and we could say that you are in a distance learning mode if there is a little or no face-to-face interaction between students and your teacher or your instructors, okay? So when we talk about distance learning, there are a lot of advantages, no? One is distance learning provides greater access to education. What do you mean by this? In the sense that, for example, it provides access to quality education or education in general to students who have physical disabilities or physical limitations rather. So, katong students na maglisod og commute from home to school, they can access education, they can access college education with the use of distance learning. So that's one advantage. Second is more affordable in the sense that dili na ka kinan mag-abang sa imong boarding house because you are learning from your home. Yeah, kung naka sa probinsya, then nara ka sa imong probinsya. So that's one. You don't need to allot a budget for transportation. Another is if for IT and CS students, malesen ang bayranan or wa nagi laboratory at all because may computer lab, di ba? So that's one way of saying it's affordable as well. Third is that it provides options to study and work at the same time. Although this may not be applicable to everyone because we are still in community quarantine, but in general, distance learning will allow students, provide them an opportunity to earn money or income and at the same time study. Okay. Next is we have it allows students to study at their own pace. So what I like about this is that as a learner, as a student, you take charge. You are the leader of your own education. You're the leader of your own learning approach because the learning style, the learning speed, how fast can you learn will really depend on you. And then last but not the least, it allows students to develop deep, valuable skills. You will realize later on that there are challenges of distance learning, but at the same time, these challenges are opportunities for us to develop valuable skills. What valuable skills that I'm talking about? One is the skill of, being motivated, even without external factor motivating you. So the skill of having self-motivation. Another is the skill of self-discipline. So dili na gid magmugawas ang imuhang how self-disciplined are you as a person because again you are learning on your own. Okay, and then for the disadvantages, of course there are always disadvantages in every situation. So first is there's no face-to-face contact with teachers or lecturers. So it's a different kind of experience, no? I myself find it kind of weird when I was teaching summer classes pag June, July. I only have 5 students sa tech, right? It's kind of weird nga. I don't have face-to-face contact and then weird naman gani akong feeling nga maestra ko and how much more if you as a student nga maglahi ra gyud siya nga it's different when you see your classmate, when you see your teachers, you can just pop in sa faculty room and ask questions. If you magsugat mo sa imong teacher sa lobby or sa canteen, makapangutana ra ka, pwede ba ma-extend ang deadline, diba? So but when we talk about distance learning, it's way different. Second is that there's minimal interaction with other students. So it's different when you are in the classroom, makapanguhit ka sa imong classmate. In fact, ganina saba kay mo no pag log in, so it's okay kay pila ko tadaod na mo nga wala magkita so maingahas no ba nga karon pa nagkita og balik, so it's really different. So there are things that you need to adjust especially for this. And last but not the least, but very important, no, it requires high level of discipline because again you are learning on your own, so it requires high level of patience, self-discipline, kinahanglan mag-practice ka nga not to procrastinate. You have to motivate yourself and so on and so forth. So that's one. Now, when you talk about distance learning, it comes with modalities. Now, unsa din ang modalities? So, I'd like to, define modalities in 2 perspectives. Okay? Okay. Ang learning will not happen kung wala teaching. Yeah, teaching and learning, they have to go hand in hand. So, first is defining modality from the teacher's perspective. So kung kag modality, distance learning modality from the teacher's perspective, it means that it refers to how the teacher conducts classes in distance learning approach and how the teachers deliver instructions to the students. So that's the modality definition from the teacher's perspective. Now, let's go to the student's perspective, the modality definition. So distance learning modality from the student's perspective would mean it is how the student, okay, connect, communicate, or give feedback to the teachers, and of course with peers. It's how the student learn the materials. It's how the student consume the materials and master the materials on his or her own. So that's basically the modality. Now, in distance learning, generally, there are 2 types of modalities. The first one, it's called synchronous or real-time distance learning modality. What do you mean by this? It means that the teacher and the students meet in different places, but during the same time. So for example, in my tech subject during summer, so when we talk about synchronous modality, that means nagklase ko na ako sa Barangay Capitol site, for example, si Sain, okay, si Lester na siya sa Leyte, si Alexis na siya sa Lahog, okay? And for example, so these two students and another Lester na sa Basak sa Nicolas. So we meet at the same time, during the same time, using any video conferencing tool, but we happen to be located in different places. So that's the characteristic of being synchronous. Second is that there is real-time student-teacher interaction, communication, and feedback because you are meeting at the same time, okay? Now, the opposite of that, the second modality, that's the opposite. It's called asynchronous, okay? So asynchronous means that the teachers and the students interact in different places at different times. What do you mean by that? So, akong i-relate. So, asynchronous, so that means I gave, for example, instruction to my students 7:30 in the morning via email. Nga, these are the things that you have to finish for the entire week. These are the materials that you have to consume for the entire week. This is the check-up test that you have to take for the entire week. Okay, so I gave that instruction via email 7:30 in the morning. The students can reply, can, perform the task maybe in different times, maybe in the morning, maybe in the evening, in the afternoon, or whatever time of the day or the week. So meaning, wala pa mo nag-abot sa isa ka lugar, wala pa gid mo nag-abot sa the same period, the same time. Okay, so that's asynchronous. Next is that the students become self-directed learners. Why? Because they take charge of their own learning process. They take charge of their own learning journey because, again, dili man mo mag-abot ni teacher. So, ikaw gyud maningkamot sa imong kaugalingon. However, although you become an independent, autonomous learner, you have to be mindful with the deadlines of assessments, deliverables, and other tasks, just like synchronous, because there is still deadline, there is still major exam, naagya po isubmit na project, and the same grading system that will be used even you are using synchronous or asynchronous. All right, so when we talk about synchronous as well, there are advantages. One is that there is classroom management. So classroom management is still practiced in synchronous manner, and then dynamic learning is very is evident because you learn with your peers, you learn with your teachers. You have teachers guiding you at real time, and then the instructional is depth because there is instructional depth because the fact that you are meeting at the same time, at real time, that means you can always ask questions, you can send feedback, you can request the teacher to discuss again the concept if dili klaro sa imuha. So it's a good thing. The disadvantage of that is you have to follow rigid schedule. So for example, if ang imuhang synchronous nga class magsugod siya 7:30, let's say na-enroll kag subject ha, 7:30, ibutang ta lang in the morning, 7:30 to 9. Yeah, distance learning man tano, but synchronous ka nga klase. That means you have to wake up early in the morning because you have to attend the class at 7:30 even if it's virtual na siya nga meeting. So it follows a rigid schedule. Second, kini nahitabo dyan ni siya, it's expected that you would experience technology hiccups, muhang imong internet, mapaong ang imuhang kuryente sa balay, or muhang ang imong gadget. So that's also one of the challenges. Okay, for asynchronous, the advantages of that is it allows, it's open for flexibility. Nganong flexible man siya, ma'am? Because ikaw may ang imuhang ang learning style nimo, ang learning speed nimo will depend kung what kind of learner are you. For example, let's say in my discrete mathematics subject, so I will give weekly na learning materials, no? So early in the morning at 7:30 every Monday, I will send all the learning materials to my students, the learning packets, to be very specific, to all my students in discrete structure, 7:30 in the morning. They have to consume that learning packet within a week. So what do you mean by consume? Meaning to say they have to master the concepts, they have to learn the concept within the week. They have to answer check-up quizzes within the week and, submit assignments or log their learning entries, learning logs within the week. So ang flexibility, Ana, goes like this. Kung ikaw nga student, you are a fast learner, and you think that the 1 week nga material nga gihatag ni teacher nimo, kaya ra nimo siya i-master within 1 day, master that within 1 day. Take the check-up quiz within the day. Submit all the deliverables within the day instead of the week. And ask your teacher the following day nga, ma'am, tagay kong second nga learning packet kay why challenge ang first one. So you see, that's flexibility. Or kung 1 week siya, pwede po na flexible nga, imo yung hutdon ang 1 week or hutdon lang 3 days lang nimo siya i-learn. So it's really depend on you. Flexibility also has something to do with the pacing. How fast can you learn? Okay? And definitely, of course, it's affordability because it's not, most of the time, majority of the time, you learn on your own. Kaya asynchronous man. Although there are moments, there are times that the teacher will schedule virtual meetings. So later on, if you are under me in asynchronous, I will schedule learning session nga virtual or virtual office hours. So that's the only time nga magpa-load ka sa imong mobile nga data. Kay mao man nga time nga, kanang mag-abot ta via Google Meet, diba? So at least it's affordable that way. Next would be the disadvantages. So these are very true because I've experienced these disadvantages when I was teaching summer, no? Nga teach from home. So at first I feel excited because it's something new, but later on as weeks go by, I feel isolated. So sometimes I feel nga naabot yung ko estudyante or kanang ni-exist magini ako mga estudyante, no? So that's the feeling I had when I was teaching summer online classes. How much more you as a student, di ba? You will feel isolated, but there are things that we have to do to avoid that. And isolation also would lead to risk of apathy, meaning kung isolated ka, if you feel alone, if you feel lonely, okay, ang concept ana, it will lead to lack of interest, disinterested na din ka, indifferent na din ka. So, and then, tsaka na ang show, gagmay na kayo imong grado or affected ang imong performance. So, but we can always avoid these disadvantages. So, that's asynchronous. Now, next question is, unsa may gamito ni UC Main CCS distance as a modality? So, again, there are two general categories of learning modalities, synchronous or real-time and asynchronous. So, in line with that, UC Main CCS will use two modalities. One is pure online or synchronous. Ang timailhan nga pure online ang imong section or synchronous, tanawa sa inyohang study load. So kung kinsa to yung nagbitbit og study load, tanawa. If ang classroom gani is doon na siya indicator nga TBA, it means to say you are under pure online or synchronous modality. Okay, so mo ni timailhan ha, TBA gani ka, pure online or synchronous. If your classroom sa imong study load, ang indicator niya is TBD, it means to say you are asynchronous nga, you are in an asynchronous learning modality. Okay? So asynchronous na siya, or in UC, ang term na mo sa UC, it's called offline digital, but asynchronous na siya. So TBA, synchronous, TBD, it's asynchronous. Okay, so tagsaon na to, unsaon pag-implement ni UC Main CCS. So first is, let's start with synchronous. So synchronous, these are for students with moderate to fast and stable internet connection. So stable ba gyud atong internet? Paspas ba gyud siya? Okay, if that is a yes, then TBA ka. Welcome to the TBA club. Okay, now, in TBA class, there is what we call a ratio because naman siya ratio good ka. Pilak mi ka oras nga mag-spend virtually, nga mag-abot mi permi sa Google Meet or Zoom, diba? Real time. Pila pod ka oras nga pasagdan rami ni teacher nga to learn on our own. So, for synchronous approach or TBA, there is what we call 80-20 nga ratio. So, that means 80-20 rule of real-time teacher-student interaction. Please pay attention to this. This is very important. What do you mean by this? 80% of the total hours per semester are spent in synchronous sessions. Synchronous sessions may be in the form of teaching and learning activities, discussions, lecture, virtual seat work, assessments, mentor office hours, basta anything nga mag-abot mo tanan at the same time, that's synchronous. So 80% of that. Now, unsay pasabot ana? Kung ang imuhang subject, for example, you are enrolled in a data structure nga subject. your data structure comes with a lecture and laboratory components, right? So lab. Kay lab man siya nga subject, the total number of hours in one semester is 90. Again, the total number of hours sa lab nga subject is 90 hours. Now, let's compute. Kung 80% kay synchronous, meaning you and your teacher will spend 72 hours in the entire semester doing synchronous activities. 72 hours, okay? 72, klaruhan na to. Now, if you are, for example, what if ma'am, na-enroll ko sa imong discrete math nga subject, lecture naman ang discrete math, so 3 hours per week. Kung lecture na gani siya nga subject, the total number of hours per semester is 54 hours in one semester for lecture subject. So kung 54 hours unya you are a discrete math student nga TBA or synchronous imong klase, that means we have to see each other and do synchronous sessions for a total of 43 hours in a semester. So mo na ipasabot sa 80%, okay? 43 hours for lecture only. Now, the remaining 20% will be spent for asynchronous. So naagya po self-directed learning activities nga tagaan ka ni teacher og materials and then you master the concept on your own. So that means that's only 20%. So kung pure lecture siya niya 20%, approximately 11 hours ra nga di mo magkita, ikaw mo mag-learn on your own. Kung pure lecture, that's 11 hours. If it's lab, then you have 18 hours nga dili mo magkita. Okay, so that's pure online. As to 80-20 rule or ratio of real-time interaction. Now, for the pacing, okay, how fast can you learn? Or unsa man at the same page ba mo sa inyong pag-learn? So, for the pure online, the student learns almost at the same pace with the peers. I'm not saying at the same time, kaya wala may parihag yun nga mag-exact yun mo pacing. So, almost at the same pace with the peers, okay? And then you will use these tools. You will use eThink LMS, G Suite from Gmail to Google Meet, to whatever, Google Classroom, Zoom, Messenger Room, and so on, okay? To facilitate learning. So, that's it. Now, what about the instructional materials? Unsa may ihatag nga instructional materials kung TBA ka nga klase? You will receive learning packet. So a learning packet contains the lecture notes and then the self-check or check-up quizzes or check your understanding activity, and then it follows with other assessments, okay, and the learning journal. So mo na ang learning packet. And then it can also be in the form of text-based materials, padalhan ka ni teacher og podcast link and you have to listen to that, or videos and so on and so forth, okay? Now, for monitoring, how will you be monitored kung online learner ka, pure online learner ka? The monitoring, the higher it's given, ang higher priority niya for monitoring is through synchronous session participation. Nga naman, kaya ning sign up man ka og synchronous learning, meaning it is assumed that you have a stable internet, you have a very decent speed nga internet, so that means you can participate. You have to participate the session. So your attendance, your participation to the synchronous session is the #1 way of monitoring you as a student. And then it is coupled with weekly journal or learning logs. Okay? Next is we have, how about assessments? How will you be assessed? Pariha ra gyapon sa typical nga face-to-face nga klase. Naagyapon tay formative or assessment for learning, or summative or assessment of learning. So that's pure online, all right? Next, balik ta. Kinsa man ang mga TBD, okay? Mga TBD na member sa TBD club. So that is offline digital or asynchronous. So para asa ni siya? These are for students with slow and unstable internet connection, okay? So next is that, because asynchronous is the opposite of synchronous, then ang iyahang ratio and proportion of real-time teacher-student interaction is also reversed. So that means it uses 20-80 rule of real-time teacher-student interaction. What do you mean by this? 20% of the total hours per semester are spent in synchronous sessions. So kung lab na subject nga TBD, that is 18 hours. Mo na ang 20%. Kung pure lecture, that is 11 hours. Okay? Now, 80% of the total hours per semester, on the other hand, the majority, okay, of the hours, which is 80%, will be spent in asynchronous. So, kung pure lecture siya, so 43 hours will be spent learning on your own. And if it is LecLab na subject, 72 hours in the entire semester will be spent learning alone. So this is what we call self-directed, okay, learning or independent na learning approach. And then at the same time, the assessment, okay? So this one, the student for the pacing, no? So the student takes charge of his or her own learnings. Ikaw gid ang maningkamo to learn, to master the concepts on your own because of asynchronous. And then you will still be using tech tools, just like the same set of technologies, the same set of tools nga gigamit sa TBA because digital man siya. Dili man offline non-digital, digital man. Okay, so that's one. Next would be, unsa may mga instructional materials. So it's the same with your online learning packets, with materials that comes with text-based audios or podcasts or videos, etc. Okay? Monitoring. How will you monitor or be monitored? So kung ang TBA kay, ang highest priority niya of monitoring is ang attendance sa and participation sa synchronous session, for offline digital or TBD, the highest priority of monitoring is the weekly or daily check-in. So it depends on the teachers kung ano kanang style. Some teachers would use daily check-in. So unsa nang daily check-in? Every day mag-send si teacher og instruction nga these are the materials that you have to consume, you have to learn, you have to answer the check-up test by the end of the day and provide your learning journal entry at the end of the day. So that's the daily style. And then what will you do? You have to check in. Okay, I will explain that. Unsa nang check in? Naapoy uban nga weekly. So for example, my style is weekly. So every day, not every day, every Monday 7:30 in the morning, I will send all the learning packets and everything that the student has to consume, has to do for the entire week. Okay, so that's weekly. Now, unsa man ang check-in? Check-in means you reply to your teacher na, yes, ma'am, naka-receive ko sa imong email. Kung wala kay signal sa internet, i-text siya sa SMS, yes, ma'am, naka-receive ko, nakadawat ko. The purpose of that, it's for what? Clear communication between you and your teacher. Nganong clear communication man? Because this is distance learning. There is no such thing as over-communication in distance learning. Kaya nga naman, kung naamang gani, kung kinahanglan magay siya i-over-communicate, yes, dapat i-over-communicate siya. Because man ta nag-abot, good, man ta nagkita, pirmi. So, para makahibaw si teacher nga nabasa nimo ang iyang instruction, okay, nakasabot ka, kinahanglan sa in-town, reply pod in whatever way, SMS, private message, email, diba nga, yes ma'am, nakasabot ko, yes ma'am, okay na ni siya, diba? So that's the check-in. That is one way of monitoring you nga, yes, we are assured as a teacher nga, the communication was clearly transmitted to you, you have understood our instruction, and we are ensured nga you will do your task within the day or within the week. All right, and this one will be coupled with learning journal or logs. Okay, so that's it. Assessment. So pariha gyapon sa TBA, formative and summative. So karon, let's summarize kay mga bright man tatanan, makasabot ta ani tanan. So kung modalities dunay duha, TBA o TBD. For internet connectivity, si TBA dapat paspas and stable. Ang sync to async ratio, 80-20 rule, it follows rigid class schedule. The learning approach is guided or teacher-directed. The monitoring is higher priority, your participation or attendance to session, learning session, synchronous learning session, to be very specific, coupled with your learning logs. The assessments, the same thing. A formative, summative, constant feedbacking, communication between you and your teacher, and yes, you will definitely use tech tools. For TBD, these are for slow and stable internet connectivity. 20 to 80 rule, okay, 20% synchronous, 80% asynchronous. Flexible class schedule, kay dili man mo mapili magkita, ihara man ang i-schedule ni teacher og kanusa, there is a need for you to meet synchronously. Self-directed approach of learning, The monitoring may be in the form of weekly or daily check-ins and learning journal, coupled with learning journal. The same thing with assessments, feedbacking, and use of tech tools as with the TBA. Okay? So, klaro ta ha? Next. This time, again, this is really a true story. You will really experience as the day progresses nga murag kuan jud ay you will feel lonely, you will feel isolated. So it came to a point when I was teaching summer classes no sa Take Right nga ma-excite na ko every time nga naay virtual learning session mi sa akong klase at least makita ko nila. It's because isolated gyud ka. So that's the thing. So I experienced that. Definitely you will experience that. But the good thing is there are ways for you to avoid that. Okay, so how? So let me share you tips that I use. It worked for me personally, and I am sure it will also work for you as well. So the first one is you have to set SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So what is your goal for the entire semester? Okay, what is your goal for every period? Sa midterm period, prelim period, semifinal, and so on. What is your goal per month? And then break it down to what is your goal per week? What is your goal within the day? So set a SMART goal, because you always have to have this end in mind so that your efforts are exerted towards the achievement of that end in mind. Okay? So that's it. Number 2, keep a focused mindset. Set a routine and follow it every day. So unsa may routine nimo? So unsa may pasabot ani niya, ma'am? Treat every day like you go to school physically. Okay? So, unsa may routine nimo every day? So, for example, mumaig ka mata nimo, maligo ka. Kaligo! Bahalag ang morning class nimo kay TBD, di mo magkita sa imong maestra. Imong maestra kay mo email ra nimo, di siya kakita sa imong naong kaligo in town. Okay? Routine, di ba? Next is pag-toothbrush, pag-breakfast, di ba? Pag sinina og tarong during virtual session. So, having this kind of routine and following it every day or religiously will set the mood, no? You will set the vibe nga estudyante giday ko, balag naara ko sa akong class, naara ko sa akong bedroom nag-study. So, naara ko sa among kitchen. But ang feel, no, ang ambience, estudyante gyapon ka. So, keep a focused mindset, set a routine. Kung mag-makeup ka mo adto sa eskwelahan, hala pag-makeup, di ba? So that's it. Number 3, to learn and master concepts, use divide and conquer approach. So this is actually, there's an algorithm in computer science and mathematics called divide and conquer. So unsay pasabot ana, if the concept given to you, especially for self-directed, no, it's too difficult. So what will you do? Divide the concepts into smaller chunks and then master each that small chunk one at a time until you were able to understand the entire concept. Okay, this is also very helpful to avoid overstraining your short-term memory. Okay, so that's it. 4th, common ni siya for distance learning. Mag-procrastinate man gani ta og dili distance samot na og distance. So, to avoid procrastination, use Pomodoro method. What do you mean by that? Pomodoro means you have to dedicate 25 minutes of focused task. Focus yun na study. Okay? No disturbance at all. So, focus. And then after 25 minutes, you have to take a short 5-minute break. So whatever break ang imong buhaton, mo chat ba kasi imong langga, that's fine. 5 minutes ra ha. And then repeat the process 4 times until makumpleto nimo ang upat ka sessions or upat ka process. After that, you take a longer break. That's 30 minutes. So it's about, I have to work hard so that I will get a reward later on. That's the concept of Pomodoro. So you can explore this one. Naay taghang materials on how to plan the Pomodoro method. Para na sa internet. Basta that's a good I use for me to stay productive. Okay? Pomodoro technique. Number 5, find a proper workspace. So pangita og lugar. Are you comfortable studying sa imong bedroom? Maka-concentrate ba ka? Ako di ko ka-concentrate kay mga may gina akong mga nindot nga unlan, okay? Mga may ako ang kutson. So that means I cannot study in the bedroom. So kung ikaw na, kung pwede ka na, then your workspace is your bedroom. Are you the kind of student that is comfortable nga mag-study ka sa kitchen kay nindot kay imong lamisa sa inyong kitchen, dut kay lingkuranan, komportable ka, then go ahead. So find a workspace in your house and then nga comfortable ka, you can have you can attain, good concentration, and then own that workspace. Mao na ang imuhang workspace for you to study. Now, related to that, that's number 6. Eliminate dayon the distraction. So, example, if comfortable ka sa imong bedroom, kay okay ra gid ang bedroom, maka-concentrate ra ka. Eliminate distractions like hipusan na ang imong mga labhunon nga nagkatag sa imong bedroom. Okay? Panglimpyo sa imong bedroom, panglimpyo sa imong lamisa. Kung naa ka sa kitchen ka comfortable unya, magluto ang imong mother at 11 a.m. para paniudto or 6 p.m. para panihapon, maka-concentrate ka sa kitchen, then how do you eliminate distraction? I'm not saying you eliminate your mom, but schedule your study, di ba? Set a study schedule nga dili mo conflict sa time nga magluto imong mama. That's also one way of eliminating distraction. So that's number 6. 7 is participate in synchronous class sessions, no? So this is a very important one because this is the only time that you can get direct feedback, direct in-depth concepts from your teacher, discussion from your teacher. So participate, tubos-lubosi, most especially for asynchronous. Tagsaragod mo mag-synchronous session niya, maghilom-hilom pagyud ka. So participate in synchronous class sessions. Get to know the technology. Because we are IT and CS students and technology is our thing, you have to get to know with that. So it's your responsibility to explore eating LMS. It's your responsibility. How should I set Google Meet? How should I do this? How I should do that? So you have to be familiar. You have to explore. That's your responsibility to explore the tech tools that you will be using in your distance learning session. Okay. Number 9 is participate in online study groups. So this is very common to us in face-to-face nga. Magsabot-sabot mo. So I remember this last semester nga, magsabot-sabot ako mga estudyante nga, mag-abot sa lobby, kay gilisuran silang project sa statistics. Mag-abot lang sa lobby, so makadungog ko. So, or magpadungog-dungog siguro na sila, kay lisuran sila. So that's one. But the point is, you have to mimic that. Meaning, kung gibuhat na nimo in a physical environment, why not do it in an online environment? So participate in online study group, or kung wala study group kani exist sa imong klase, organize, di ba? Organize a virtual hangout where you could meet with your classmates. Bahala na og mag-abot mo via messenger room. That's a very good platform. So do that to avoid isolation. And last but not the least, as I've said, there is no such thing as over-communication in distance learning. So communicate constantly with your teacher. Ayaw ka uwaw. Kung naglisod ka, di naglisod ka. Diba? So pangutana sa imong teacher. So communicate constantly with your teacher. Communicate constantly with your classmates. So kung naglisod ka and kanang kinanan ka na ikapangutanaan nga classmate, reach out to your classmate. Send a private message. Ikaw pod, kung if somebody you will receive a private message from a classmate, ayo pod is-in zone. Kaya dili man lalim is-in zone. Samot na ang friend zone, di ba? So, you have to communicate. It's about time that you have to reach out with one another because at the end of the day, we're not seeing physically. We are feeling the spirit of individuals, but we were not there. Okay, so that's the reality. So if you have questions, I would like to entertain that at the end of the session, or you can just send me direct message through my email, or my Facebook, or Twitter. So thank you so much. Good afternoon.
All right.
Oh, nakita jud ka.
All right. All right. So we've just enlightened on what distance learning modalities are. The synchronous and asynchronous things, the 20-80, the 80-20 ratios of the distribution of the number of hours that will be spent in class for the entire semester, the Pomodoro method, how I wish I can reverse it, 5-minute focus task with a 5-minute break. Is that okay, Ma'am Cheryl?
Okay ra, sir. Pero Pomodoro is 25-5 yun siya.
Thank you for that, Dr. Cheryl, for the very informative presentation on distance learning modalities. Now, to give us a talk about learning management system in a nutshell, I would like to invite another colleague. He's a man who motivates and gives smiles to his students, trains them to develop their personality by his unbeatable skills. Let us all welcome Mr. Neil Basabi. A round of applause, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Sir Hubert. Good afternoon, Sir Melvin, the faculty and the staff of the College of Computer Studies. And of course, to you, my dear students, so good afternoon. I hope you are okay. You're coping well with this pandemic. So I am tasked to discuss to you the University of Cebu learning management system in a nutshell. So meaning, kuan lang siya kanang kato mga important features that you have discussed during the webinar with eating, education, and also for those who were absent during that koan webinar, so this is for you, okay? And those who are late. So let's start with the next slide. Okay, so today's discussion will be outlined according to this. I'll discuss what is an LMS, and then what is Moodle, what are the general features of the Moodle LMS, and then for the demonstration, I will show to you the teacher view and then the student view also, because this is for you Mangyud ang demo. And then for the web part or the web version of Moodle and also the Moodle desktop. Okay, but for the Moodle app, so I'll just show you the screenshots. And then after that is all about the Moodle desktop and then the Moodle app and then the features of the Moodle app. Next slide. Okay, so an LMS or a learning management system is a software application for the administration, documentation, tracking, reporting, automation, and delivery of educational courses, training programs, or learning and development programs. So the LMS is an online platform to help ensure that students and teachers have the tools they need to continue to connect, teach, and learn from anywhere. So because of the current pandemic situation, we are forced to conduct classes online to aid or to address this online classes demand. The University of Cebu made a partnership with eThink Education to deliver the model LMS. By the way, eThink Education class is based in Baltimore, USA. That is their main base. eThink Education is an award-winning Moodle certified partner providing implementation, integration, management, and cloud hosting services for the open source LMS Moodle. Next slide. Okay, Moodle is an online learning management system enabling educators to create their own private website filled with dynamic courses that extend learning anytime and anywhere. So with Moodle, you, the students, can access online classes, answer quizzes and assignments, of course, view the score of your quizzes and your assignments, and also you can see your grades. You can also find and use class resources and also communicate with your teachers and probably your classmates also if you are allowed by your teacher or the admin for communication through chat. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so that is what the University of Cebu eThink Model LMS looks like. I have asked some students what is the URL of our LMS. So some of them were able to answer correctly. Some of them didn't even complete where. But I think it's already posted nga na inyong mga user account. So kindly check it later. Okay, next slide. So again, our URL is University of Cebu .eatingsites.com. Okay, so after logging in, this screenshot is the teacher view. So let's say I am the teacher. So that is my view. That is the dashboard. And then as you can see on the left side, you have the burger icon. Kanang naa sa pilid sa UC logo. That's the hamburger icon. Okay, and then my dashboard, you have the site, home, the calendar, the private files of the teachers, and then naasad siya yung mga courses nga yung gitudlo. Okay, and then you have also badges, you have all courses. You can search the courses, but of course you cannot open it if you are not enrolled. And then at the right side, you have the timeline, you have the private files, you have katong mga chat, mga forums, mga upcoming events. So you can see more of that duration. Yeah, sa ubos pagid anak class is katong mga contents sa imuhang LMS. Next slide, please. Okay, yes, wait lang gid mo matagaan mo credentials. So let's now go to the features of Moodle. So number one, Moodle has a personalized dashboard. So the dashboard display current, past, and future courses. Okay, next slide. You also have collaborative tools and activities as one of the features. So you as the students can work and learn together in forums, in wikis, in glossaries, database activities, and much more. So actually, daghang kay activities kuan ang kanang sa Moodle. Like there are 14 or 15 different types of activities like assignments, chat, you have choice, you have days, you have feedback, forum, mga glossary, lesson, mga external tools, of course, quiz, and then mga survey, mga wikis, mga workshops. Okay, next slide. So feature number three, you have track of your academic calendar. So your course deadlines, group meetings, and other personal events. Next slide. Okay, Moodle also has a convenient file management system. So you can drag and drop files from cloud storage, so which makes it very easy. As you can see, you have the file picker. You have cloud storage services, so including OneDrive, Dropbox, and Google Drive. So, or you can upload your files from your computer. Next slide, please. You're familiar with this because you have been using Moodle since our department is, I think, the only department in UC Maine is using Moodle. But this is a different Moodle. This is already provided to us by UC with the help of eThink. So sila ang nag-manage sa kanang mga functionalities. Okay. Next is the simple and intuitive text editors, especially if you have an assignment. So pwede if the teacher had made an assignment na you kanang dili na mo kinahanglan pa-upload og file, so pwede ra nga iyang ipagamit is the text editor. So you can format text and conveniently add media and images with an editor that works across all web browsers and devices. Next slide. Okay, so you have notifications. So it's important for you class to set your notifications so that you'll get kuan ba kana mga you'll be notified if, for example, there is a June assignment or June quiz. So you have to set it up. You can do that. I can show it to you later. then when enabled notifications, so users can receive automatic alerts on new assignments and deadlines, forum posts, and also send private messages to one another. So you can do that. You can view that through the notifications. Next is the progress. So you can track your progress, both students and teachers. So educators and learners can track progress and the completion with an array of options for tracking individual activities or resources and at course level. So per course, may baka ninyo unsa yung mga kuwang, kung makakuha na ba mo, makatake na ba mo prelim exam. So some teachers will not allow you to like take the prelim exam without reading the notes for the prelim exam. So we can do that as teachers. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so Moodle in the eyes of a student. So the students can participate, can do assessment and evaluation, can collaborate with their dancer, group activities, and then communicate through the chat and also through the big blue button. So if you have like an online meeting, and then customize. You can customize your Moodle. Okay, next slide. So I'm showing to you the screenshot of the UC model desktop. Okay, so what is in the web version? You can also access it if you have downloaded the model desktop. So again, you can log in as after logging in, this side. Next slide, please. Okay, so you have the content of your model desktop. So maura gihapon as what you can see in the web version, only lang the arrangement of the icons ang nalahi. Okay, like you have the home, you have the calendar, you have kato mga messages, you have notifications, you have private files, mga badges, and then sa pinakaubos, the the lowest left corner, you have the hamburger icon. And makita nimo sa middle ang mga contents. Next slide, please. Okay, so demo time. So I will demo to you the web version and also the desktop version. Okay, so let me share my screen. I'm Cheryl. Okay, so I'll present
Sir Neil, you may now
my
share your
entire screen. Yes, Ma'am Cheryl.
Yes, sir. Go ahead with your share screen.
Just wait. Kanihina mo. Yes, it's here. Version of our LMS. As you can see, I'm already logged in. But if, sige, ito ipakita ha, I'll log out and then I'll log in again.
Sir
Okay,
Neil,
so
it's
this
not
is
shared yet.
sorry, sir. I have already shared it, but I think it's because of the internet connection that it's slow.
You can now
So
see your
that is
screen.
why hinay siya mo load on the
Sorry na lang ang shares.
end.
Stop na lang, sir.
So I'll log in. Sir Melvin.
Is it possible that Dr. Satori will be showing the screen and then you will discuss, sir?
Let's.
Then I have to access his account pa.
I try balik ko no, sir. You're breaking up, Manggod. You're breaking.
In. Oh, okay. Can we go to the lag ang connection?
Sir Neil?
Yes, sir.
If not, pwede ra ka, continue na lang sa imong slides. Anya, anyway, we will just tell them nga na mamantay succeeding kuan kanang training for LMS pagid next week.
Okay.
September 10, I think.
Okay, I'll stop something and then I'll ask Ma'am Cheryl to continue the slide presentation.
Okay, let me continue. Okay, let's proceed.
Okay, so let's go to the model UC model app. So as you can see, I am the teacher and Ma'am Cheryl Satori is the student. Okay, once you are logged in, let's assume that you have already downloaded the application and then you have logged in using the site katong University of Cebu.eatingsites.com, and you will see this kaning view. So you have the site subscription, grades, site blog files, tags, website help. So that's under the burger icon. Under the burger icon, you have grades and then site blog files and app settings until app settings. Next slide, please. So that is kuan ha kanang downloaded na from my phone. So you have the dashboard also. The dashboard is where you can see the contents of your LMS. You have like the katong mga forums, mga files, mga kuan kanang course contents. You can see the quizzes, the exercises. So it's where you can find it. And then as you can see also, nakita ninyo ang mga quizzes o ang assignments, and then mga posting like the orientation schedule. So it depends kung unsa gipang himo sa teacher. So ma-view sa ninyo. Next slide. Okay, the UC Moodle app, you have the capability for uploading your files and downloading your files. There is also a virtual class. So using the big blue button, yang so depende sa teacher. For example, teacher mag-schedule o virtual class, so you don't have to go, you don't have to open Zoom or Google Meet sa Moodle because naka-schedule na ang virtual class. Okay. Demo ta na ko ng kuan big blue button sa web. Pero let's see later. Next. Next slide. Okay, of course, ang kasagaran nga buhaton sa student are the completion of assignments and quizzes. By the way, for Moodle, there's also functionalities. Okay, so one of it are on the assignments and the quizzes. But it depends on the admin if we are allowed. Depende sa ilang mga settings. Next slide, please. So basically, what you can see in the Moodle app, you can also see that in the web version and in the Moodle desktop version. But of course, they have different kanang UI na. Okay, next is you have the grades. Kaya importante kani sa mga estudyante ang grades. Kaya mag-compare mo grades, no? Unya, ang teacher kaya inyuhang kuan nun ngayong grado kay gamay. So for transparency, pwede sa si teacher maghimo gid og grade book. Makita gid ninyo kung pila ka percent ang imuhang quiz, ang imong assignment, ang imuhang project presentation, imuhang kanang oral exam, ang attendance, if attendance part of the grade. So for attendance also, the teacher could add an attendance feature. Nga ang teacher kay maoy mo attendance or the system maoy mo attendance, or it could be ang student maoy mo attendance sa iyong kaugalingon. But of course, the teacher can set nga, kung mula pa sa siya 15 minutes kay late na ni siya. Mula pa siya 30 minutes kay considered absent na siya. So we can do everything nga mga ingana. If only mapakita na ko ang web, so makita niyo ang mga functionalities sa teacher and we'll view it in the student side. Okay, next slide please. Okay, the calendar and the upcoming events. So like for example, diha na ay September 3 because I have created an attendance for September 3, anak baron, and then next is the upcoming events. So because I have posted already the kanang quizzes, the assignments, the course attendance, so makita na ninyo class through the upcoming events. Okay, next. Okay, so the Moodle app mobile feature. So naa siya full support for the following resources. You can browse, you can download, you can do some of this offline. Like kaning mga book, you have file, folder, mga label. By the way, kaning mga technical na kayo kay you can address this to your incoming webinar or training for eThink LMS. Kung kuana nyo dito, ipang-raise na yung mga questions. You have the URL. And also, na siya full support for activities like browsing, submission, chat, external tools. So you can browse mga assignments, you have database, mga choice or questions, okay, and others. So let me tell you, unsay mga offline features or functionalities sa Moodle app. Like for example, quizzes, have the shareable content object relational model or SCORM. So very technical, ipang-address na nato sa mga admin sa Moodle. Okay, and then you have private message, other users, so you can do that offline. You can also add a course note, you can do that offline. Complete a survey offline, pwede create new forum posts or a new wiki page, and complete your assignment. Pero make sure nga kung, I have tried the Moodle app, so ang assignment, okay ra siya, naka-try jud ko nga offline. And once you will be online, it will be synchronized offline sa inyong LMS. I have tried also the quiz, but unfortunately, I think wala pa allow sa admin ang mobile services. So that is why wala ko ka-try og offline nga quiz. But I have actually already set up an offline quiz, which ako untang mapakita inyo if okay na itong connection. Next slide, please, Ma'am Shara. Okay, next is the UC Model App features, other features. Can you go back, Ma'am Cheryl? So, like for grading, you can browse for notes. Next slide, Ma'am Cheryl. For notes, like you can browse, you can download it, you can submit, and also you can do offline. So, kung imo na-download, diba? Pero some of the you are using Moodle, they have like a third-party application or plugin. For example, like Box, for example. So, kung mag-download ka sa imong, kung mag-login ka sa imong Box, automatic, kung mag-offline na ka, mabasa raga punto ni downloaded materials. Okay? And then messages. So, pwede na daw ka maka-message offline. And then for completion of assignments, yes, I have already tried it. Competencies, the badges, kay browse lang, blogs, browse lang. For the ratings, you can also do it offline, and then comments offline. So mag-wait na lang tang kuan kanang mo online kagbalik para ma-synchronize na siya to the to your LMS. Okay? Next slide. So supposedly this is my final slide. So for further questions about the elements of UC, just like the page, go to the page and like University of Cebu main campus, tech support. So you can send a message if you have questions. Example, you have modes sa kuan kanang Moodle, so you can address your questions through the admin. Okay, care of Sir Jeffrey Salimbangon, Sir Jeff Salimbangon. Sorry. So can I go back to? Can I try demonstrating the web and model desktop, Sir Milvin? Ma'am She?
If your connection allows, sir, no problem.
It's okay. I'll try. So I'll present my entire screen para makita nila ang model desktop. Nga naada ay model desktop. Okay, so here, can you see the landing page? I mean the
Yes, we can see the landing page sa imong screen.
Ma'am Cheryl? Okay.
Yes, I can see
okay,
the landing
so I'll
page.
log in as the teacher. Okay, I'll log in as a teacher. Wait. Hala. Wait sa, I think na ako'y na-miss. Characters. Okay. We are in. So this is the teacher view. Okay, so after this one, can you see the model desktop, Ma'am Cheryl?
Wala
No,
pa,
sir.
sir. Napa ko
No, sir.
sa
No, no.
login form. Okay,
Yes,
now.
that's it. Na.
Okay na. Okay na.
Okay, na na. Okay, thank you. So I can see this is the model desktop. So model desktop is also available in mga tablets as long as you are kanang installing Windows OS in your tablet, so you can access your course through the Moodle app. So the only difference is the icons kinda sa left part. Okay, and you have the hamburger icon, more menu, and then let's access content. So for example, one na ko na dashboard ha. So I'm in the dashboard. As you can see, prepare ato ang database 1. Mga students na ko sa database 1. I can see the online student, the online teachers ni sila, online teachers, and I have a calendar and upcoming events. Ako na ipang-click. So for example, you have calendar events. Makita na ninyo ang mga inyong ipang-set nga calendar, or like for example me, na ako'y mga entries akong calendar. Go back to the dashboard. You have site home. So ang site home is where you can search your courses or kana mga courses nga gi-offer sa IT or sa laing department. For example, importante man kay nato ang mo take og quiz, no? So for example, kani quiz. Okay? So if you'll click it, unfortunately, na ni mga kuan class, na ni mga answer. But if you'll take a quiz, this is what it will look like. So this is already graded. So kung successfully naka-take na ka sa quiz, so of course dapat you will see your grade. Okay, and for example, assignment is due. By the way, as the teacher has the capability to restrict the viewing of the kuan kana mga materials. Like if you are not finished with week 1, you cannot answer if you cannot finish the week 1 kanang chapter 1, for example, contents, you cannot take, for example, the chapter 1 quiz, mga so the teacher can do that. Okay. So here you have not graded. So not graded as a teacher. So take note, this is Ma'am Cheryl's view as the student. Okay. So let's have this koan kaning vertical ellipsis. Ang tawag daw ani class is kebab. Okay. Kung na kay hamburger icon, na kay kebab icon, or koan vertical ellipsis. Forwards. Okay. So naana siya diri mga kuana sad like you can open in browser. So instead of diri ka sa desktop kay it will open the LMS in the browser, and then you have you can refresh kay kana ganing, for example, if the teacher has created an assignment unya naa siya delay ang synchronization sa web o sa kaning desktop o sa mobile. So you have to refresh para makita ni mo na di assignment number 4, na di quiz number 5. So something like that. Okay. Let me show you, for example, na ako'y kuan quiz, for example, nga kana kay nagamit og safe exam browser. Kaya ang teacher ninyo is very strict. For example, strict siya. So, di siya mo sugot na ma-open mo og mga tabs daghan. So, the teacher can do that by using the safe exam browser. Okay, and then I'll go to the teacher side ha. Patanawon ta mo. So, sa teacher side, hari na ta sa web. Okay, let's go to the web part. Okay, so here, for example, I am a teacher in IT. I am the BC 31. I am a student in Platic and Soft Ink because I'm added by Sir Hubert and Ma'am Jennifer Amores. Sorry ko sa IT, I am the BC 31 because I'm the teacher. Okay, so here, mo ako makita. So ako rin ang i-turn editing on para na ako'y mahimo. For example, ari sa week week 3, ako ipakita ang mga tile contents. Mao ni ang week 3 class. I have created, like, for example, for our virtual class, I have created a schedule using the big blue button. And then, ay mga presentation slides or downloadables. And then, assignments. So, quizzes. So, for example, if I will create an assignment, I'll just click add resource. After that, makita na dito sa student side. So here are the activities that the teacher can give to you. So imagine there are 15 or 14 activities. So like assignments, attendance, the big blue button, book, chat, choice, database, you have feedback file, folder, forum, glossary, label, lesson, page, quiz. Ang pinagamit yun na to pero are the quizzes and assignments, no? So kay murag lisod na kay ang mga students kung ato ning panggamiton tanan. Okay, especially kato mga pure offline. So these are the things that I can do. For example, I'll create an assignment. Or here, pakita mo sa mga settings. Or like for example, I can set a date. For example, September 4. And then date ay 7. Cut off date. Of course, atong tas cut off date. Yes, sir.
I think you're constantly breaking na.
Okay. So
can we please wrap up na lang and then kay anyway na pa anugon kay mo ang presentation ko.
Yeah. Okay. So ana na lang Sir Melvin, I'll have to end na lang because anyway they will be kind of oriented again, trained again with the eating LMS. Okay.
Yeah, our LMS training.
Sir, question. We will go to the question and answer. So, again, to ask kanang address your questions sa eating LMS, you can like the page. Ma'am Cheryl, can you share ko on last slide? Second to the last slide. And then I'll give now the mic to our handsome host.
Char, Kasanel, oy.
By the way, this is Dininial. Next week, you will have a scheduled LMS training again. I think we will be on September 9 or 10. So we will just inform you kung sa ang schedule. You will be given also the link pod or the invitation to join the training. So that will be 3 to 4 hours, but I don't know if it will be as nicer as the presentation of Sir Neil.
Okay, so for further concerns and questions, again, you can visit and like message the main support. Sir, you're
Thank you, Sir Neil. Are you okay, Sir Neil? Are you still okay?
yes. Thank you, Sir.
You start breaking na.
Sige.
Thank you, Sir Neil. Thank you, Sir Neil, for that informative presentation. Now we know that the primary features of eating, the learning management system that we'll be using in our respective classes all throughout the semester. Hopefully, the students were able to identify some of the things that they can do for our LMS. Just a reminder, no, this is to eliminate confusions. All right. You might be wondering why some of our teachers, most of us teachers in IT, are now currently using tentatively Google Classroom pa. But when we fully utilize the LMS, our learning management system, officially, the eThink. This is so-called eThink, our LMS, official LMS. Then we will immediately migrate to that LMS. Okay? So at this juncture, would like to call on Dr. Melvin Inyal. Can we start for our Q&A, our open forum? Because
yes, sir.
early,
Maybe, Sir
yes,
Hubert, maybe we can entertain 2 live questions and then 3 questions from the chat box.
all right. So two live questions and then 2 questions from the chat box. So can I call on? Let me call on Dr. Cheryl Satore Estelia for the questions in the chat box.
Okay, first, if there are questions that you want to raise live, please unmute yourself and then just do your question na dayon. Okay? While I am selecting some questions here sa chat box, you can unmute yourself and ask questions directly.
So not all of your questions will be answered today, no, because of the limited time we have. So maybe some of the questions will be answered lately or through our Facebook app or Facebook page.
Okay.
Thank you.
So do we have questions now related to the presentation and to your problems on the online or new normal?
Good afternoon, sir, ma'am. This is not
Yes.
connected to the presentation, but I would like to ask if there is an increase or decrease to the tuition fee.
Yeah, thank you for that question. This is that was is that to?
John Peralta.
Okay. So thank you for that question, Mr. Peralta. As to tuition fees, school fees, it will be the accounting office who will be releasing the official schedule of fees for the students. But I'm sure there will be decrease because we are not in the school and we're not using the facilities. Just like what happened in summer. Sa summer, wala man to siya kuan mga laboratory sessions na apoy decrease sa lab fees or sa unsa na kanang miscellaneous. So I hope it's also the same with this first semester ka regular sem and we're not doing face to face. So that's naturally the same, pero we will wait for the official and consistent announcement from the accounting office. By the way, after this, the administration promised that there will be FAQs for about school fees, and then they will also do some inserted orientations in the CWTS for freshmen and second years. So katong mga uban pang inquiries pagyod, they also have their virtual office set up. So later on, you will know exactly how much will you pay and what will become of your tuition fees. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Did I answer your question, Mr. Peralta?
Yes, sir. Noted, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Another question? Welcome, another one.
Live question diri pod. Okay, unahan lang sa nato ang live question ha. Sige, let's start with live question first.
Tabasa, please.
Hello. Yes, sir. Pahin lang sa kaning eThink LMS. Will this replace our current portal, which is the uc.edu.ph? Oh, exacto ba kung na-mention nga o paan? Yes, sir.
Thank you for that.
Mga files dito. Yes, sir.
Our CCS.uc.edu.ph na CCS portal will still be there, but most of its functions will be for announcements niya. Some of our teachers are using it, but not all. Pero our official LMS yun karon semester is the eThink. It's the university LMS used by all the rest of the campuses. So adto kita mo. Pero it will not. We will not delete the CCS portal. It will still be the same. So as a CCS student, ang inyo yung i-check permi is the Facebook page of CCS, the CCS portal, and the University of Cebu main campus nga Facebook page. or pwede po ang website sa UC. So Ana, you have to be more cautious, or you have to be you have to keep up with the posting of those virtual nga mga bulletin board.
Okay. Okay, sir. Copy. Thank you.
Thank you. Sige, Ma'am She.
Na yung mga pangutana diri regarding sa practicum, we will address this one because it's part of the college announcements that we will be presenting towards the end of this orientation program. So, answer na inyong pangutana about practicum and capstone. So, there's one question here. Mag-require mo, ma'am o sir, og e-books from Aubrey Toledo.
Okay. Aubrey and the rest of the students, some of the subjects will require ebooks, and these ebooks are integrated in the LMS, which is eThing. So aside from paying the ebooks, you are also the ebook. When you pay for the ebooks, which is outside of the system, okay, you will buy the ebook in the external web e-commerce site of the provider, not in the LMS. Kung mupalit mo dito sa ebook because it's required by the teacher, automatically you can get the ebook version. At the same time, you will also get the you will also have the other learning materials used by the teacher and the students for that particular subject. But it's up to the teacher if they will require the ebooks, because they are the ones who are really know exactly what will happen to their subject and which is better for the students. So just wait for the teachers kung require siya anang book or dili. Pero kung require gani gid siya, it's important that we also have to heed with it, because that's the directive of our president po, dapat na agad tayo libro. Pero yeah, just wait for your teachers if they will require or not. It's not really wala na siya gipugos sa teachers, pero kung ang teacher moingon na ganing mo require siya, mapugos gyud ang student. Do you understand? So the administration dili mo pugos sa teacher, pero kung ang teacher moingon na gyud siya nga mo require gyud siya, it's her strategy that you have to also follow. Do you understand? Okay. Next question, Ma'am She.
I think I will answer this, no, kay related siya sa akong topic. I would like to ask unta, sir, ma'am, if ma-consider ba ang attendance sa student if simba ko mawagtangan og internet sa balay kana nga day nga mag-meet mo, no, synchronously. Mo kalit lang kawagtang ang internet or pawang ang currently at that time. So basically, although synchronous, if you are enrolled in TBA, no, or synchronous nga learning modality, the teachers are very considerate and flexible as to the attendance. So, if example, mawagtang inyong internet, wala man tayo mabuhatan na kasi teacher, posible man po nga mawagtangan ng internet, or we encounter, no, it's normal nga, we will encounter technology hiccups. So, considerate si teacher, Ana. Second is, kung mawagtang ang internet and you have to check in, then there are also other ways to tell the teacher nga you were present, it's just that something happened. So, pwede ka mo text ni teacher or later within the day. So, I hope na answer na ko, Heidi.
Yeah.
Okay,
And some of the teachers do not give credit to the attendance. They are more into the results or the outputs. Okay? If some teachers require the attendance as part of the grade, that's okay. That's only until 5 to 10%. Pero katong ubang teachers nga outputs ra okay ra sad. Pero again, consider it. Sakto si Dr. Satori, consider it ang mga teachers. You just have to inform them what happened to you during the synchronous sessions.
Okay. Wala na ko yung
One more question.
One more question. Okay. Live question lang. One more.
Oh, one more live question. Sige na, ask na, or forever keep your silence.
No more questions? So we can proceed. It's past 3 p.m. already.
Okay, no more questions, sir. Sige, sir.
Okay, are we still going to have a fun or games Sir Melvin?
Yes, that's the most important. That's the most exciting part.
All right, I'll say. So we'll not end this program without, surprises, nor end this informative afternoon without games and fun. But this is in a form of, I think, quiz bee or trivia. One of our PCS officers will give you something, no, that will let the students enjoy this afternoon. May I call on Kim Tero?
Hello. Hello, sir. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Good afternoon,
Um,
Kim.
mag-send lang ko link daan dere para samtang nag-introduce ko, at least makasud na mo sa game.
All right. Sige, go
So,
ahead.
nag-send ko og link. Tulo na siya kabuok. The first one is the PC's FB page. The second one is the link. And then the third one is the game pin. So, inigsud ninyo sa link. I-input ninyo ang game pin nga 1605888. And then after that, you will be asked for a username. So please lang po nga ang inyong ibutang nga username is ang inyong hajong name, nga real name, no alias. Kay after if ever makadaog mo, pangayoon ako ang inyong study load before ninyo mag-claim ang inyong prize, which is natay 3 winners. Ang first winner is makadaog siya 300, ang second is 200, and then the third one is 100. So it's either if namoy GCash, isa na ko sa inyong GCash, or pwede po na ko i-load lang ninyo if wala mo'y GCash. What mo kasud sa game pin? Wait lang ha. Naana may daghan na kasud, murag ikaw ra siguro ang wala. Pwede ra dili na siya download, just click the link. So, mag-present ko ninyong screen. Ako lang ipakita ang akong fellow officers. So, kana akong kita ninyo nga screen is mao na ang akong mga co-officers or co-workers. Then, ang position ako sa PCITS is I am the treasurer. So, PCITS means the Philippine Society of Information Technology Students. So, it is the official student body organization of the University of Cebu Main Campus, led by our former advisor, Sir Leo Bermudez, and current advisors, Sir Neil Basabi and Dennis Durano. So to give you a glimpse of our activity, we are the one responsible for organizing some CCS events like acquaintance and intramurals. So if you want to know more, you can just message us directly sa amoang FB page, which is akong gi-share diha ang link sa chat box. And then, let's move on to our game. So our game, for the laptop users, you can just actually split your screen. Kay tanawa lang ang sa presented screen, diha man mo gawas ang questions sa presented screen. So, pwede mo mag-answer ang sa pikas nga screen, kay ato mo mag-answer sa inyong sa pikas nga screen, dito i-present ang option sa mga answers like color-coded man siya, nya na po check atong mga different shapes sa side. So, mara natin yung pinduton, but mutanaw jud mo sa presented screen for the questions. So, sa mga nag-phone lang, sorry jud kaayo, kay di jud mo makakita sa questions, not unless nga makakita mo nga i-split sa ninyo ang screen sa inyong phone para makita ninyo ang questions through the Google Meet nga presented screen. So, nanay 10 ka questions, 6 questions came from the presentations, and then ang 4 kay mga random questions na related sa technology. So, I can see nga nanatay 107 players. So, okay na siguro ni start, Sir Melvin.
Yeah, go ahead, Kim. Go ahead.
Okay, so ako nang start. Sorry kayo sa mga dili ka-appeal kay di mo sana to ma-hostan ng 200. So paspas lang mo kay mo question na siya dayon, tagaan na mo 20 seconds to answer the question. So the first question is, what is the name of the UC Main CCS Innovation and Technopreneurship Hub? So we have the option Snook, Shock, Mecca, and Startup. So just take your time. Napay 10 seconds. So the correct answer is Mecca. 46 kabuok ang nakakuha o correct answer. And for the top 3 winners sa atong first question is Angela Banogon, Petal Corin, and Casio. So let's proceed to the next one.
Winners ha, not winners. Leaderboard pa to.
Yeah, leaderboard, not winners. Sorry. So second question, synchronous is a learning modality where the teacher and students meet in the same place during the same time. Is it true or false? Okay. So the correct answer is true, and 73 people got the correct answer. So our top 3 leaders is Angela Banogon, Gonzaga Chris, and Windel. Let's proceed to the third question. So model desktop is a solution to accessing your model courses on desktop. It is also available for tablets with Windows. Is it true or false? 10 seconds. So the correct answer is true, and we have a 101 people got the correct answer. So our new top 3 is Angela Banogon, Gonzaga Chris, and Nepaya. On to the next question. So using the model of the student can answer quizzes, private message, other users, add a course note, complete a survey. Is it true or false? So 95 people got the correct answer, which is true. And our new top 3 is staff, Angela Banogon, and Nipaya. On to the next. This is our fifth question. The following are graduate attributes of a CCS DG Mahler except lifelong learner, effective communicator, team player, or goal seeker. So 7, 6, 5, 2, 1. So the answer is goal seeker, and we only got 29 people who got the correct answer. Our new top 3 is Jude Inel, I'm not sure, Angela Banogon, and Kathleen May. So for our sixth question, this is a true or false. Asynchronous learning follows a rigid class schedule. Is it true or false? So the answer is false, and we got 56 people got the correct answer. Our new top 3 is Jude, Angela, and Kathleen. So for our seventh question, what was the first emoticon ever used? Is it the sad face, the angry face, the exhausting emoji, or the smiley emoticon? So the right answer is the smiley emoticon, and 87 people got the correct answer. Our new top 3 is still Jude, Angela, and Cerses. On to the eighth question. What was YouTube originally created for? Online shop, streaming portal, online job portal, or online dating service? So 7 to 8 people get the correct answer, and the correct, I mean 9 people get the correct answer. I'm sorry. So the correct answer is online dating service. Our new top 3 is Jude, Angela, and Bernard. On to the ninth question. HTML is a programming language. Is it true or false? 61 people got the correct answer, and the answer is false. And our new top 3 is Jude, Angela, and Circes. So, this is our last question. One of the founder of Microsoft Corporation. Option 1, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, or Mark Cuban. You have 5 seconds left. So 80 people got the correct answer, and the answer is Bill Gates. So our top 3 winners are Circes Ondong III, Angela, and
Jude.
Jude. Congratulations! You can claim your prize by messaging the PCS FB page. Congratulations for winning a Gcash or load credit.
Paano na siya volunteer sa
Congratulations to all our winners. Ma'am Cheryl, the schedule or the summary, the calendar of activities for the entire school, for the entire semester. Okay, just to remind everyone regarding our schedules of the examinations for the first semester, the school year 2020-2021. Our prelim exams will be this coming September 17 and 18. Midterm exams, October 18 and 20. Semifinal exams would be on November 19 to 20. Final exam for graduating students will be held on December 3, 2020. Non-graduating students on the 22nd and 23rd of December 2020. Okay, so next week there will be orientations on Capstone Project 41 and 42, Practicum 41 and 42, CC Rescom 31 or Res 1. Okay, so you just have to wait for the Google Calendar invitation with Google Meet ID to be sent to your Gmail. So just keep on updating your email account. Okay, thank you. But before you receive your digital goodies, please submit your evaluation at this link, http://bit.ly/2020 CCS orientation program. Thank you so much. And so today, with a deep satisfaction, we conclude that there is no alternative to hard work and dedication at this time. We do not only give our students the best, but also make sustained efforts to indicate in them a top mindset that is determined and passionate for success. As all the good things come to an end, in ordinary life, we hardly realize that we receive a great deal more than we give. And that is only with gratitude that life becomes rich. Thank you all. Let's call it a day. I am now checking out. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
sir.